Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new product review, and this time I want to share with you the tactical objectives. The Supremacy tactical objectives from 40k is a new deck of cards to play the missions in Warhammer 40k, and I'm wondering if we can use them also in Age of Sigmar. So let me make a look what you can see there, and how they play. First of all, we have a card that is explaining how they can be used, and essentially saying that this deck contains 36 new tactical objectives for use in games of Warhammer 40k. If you are playing a mission with tactical objective special rule, you can choose to generate your objective using this deck instead of rolling in the Warhammer 40k rules or using the previous deck. If you do so, your opponent does not have to do the same. They can choose which set of objectives to use. Many of the tactical objectives you will find on these cards are more difficult to achieve than those found on Warhammer 40k rules, but offer greater rewards. Choose wisely. Faction specific tactical objective. If your faction has its own tactical objective, you can combine them with this set in the same way that you will combine them with those in Warhammer 40k rules. If you generate a capture and control objective numbers 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 or 16, simply generate the corresponding tactical objective from your faction codex instead. So what we have here is we have again 36 tactical objectives, and now I'm going to review them, and as you can see I put here the first 6 because these first 6 are the same that we find in the basic deck. So these first 6 tactical objectives is holding objective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, so nothing new here, and these are the first 6, no differences. Then we go to objectives 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and 26. These 6 objectives are a little bit different than the basic deck. So here you have to hold objective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 for 2 consecutive turns to be able to score 2 points. So it's more difficult, and to be fair, it's a little bit more of regard, but you have to hold this objective for 2 turns. So it's 2 points instead. It's double of this one, but it's double of effort. So here we have the second set of objectives. Then we go to objectives 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 and 36. And these are all the same, and then score these 3 victory points at the end of your turn if you objective marker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was controlled by your opponent at the start of your turn and you control at the end of your turn. So you have to you have to take this objective from your enemy, and you will score these 3 victory points. This is quite interesting. Then we have 41. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if you control the objective marker whose number corresponds to the turn number. So if you control for example, you're in turn 3 and you control objective 3, you get 1 point. 42. Now all of them are going to be different. When this tactical objective is generated, roll 2 dice, rolling any doubles. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if you control either objective markers whose numbers corresponds to the result. If you control both these objective markers, the end of your turn you will score these 3 victory points instead. So you roll 2d6, choose they will tell you what 2 objectives to score, and if you score 2 d3s, you only score 1 victory point. Quite interesting, this one. Number 43. When this tactical objective is generated, roll a d6. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if you control the corresponding objective marker. If your warlord controls the corresponding objective, these 3 victory points. Quite interesting, this one. Very random. 44. Score these 3 victory points at the end of your turn if you control at least 2 even number of objectives. So yeah, you have to control two even numbers. And then 45 is the same, but with odd numbers of objectives. So if you these 3 points, if you control two odd number of objectives. And 46, these 3 plus 2 victory points at the end of your turn if you control at least 2 even objective and 2 odd objective. It's like the previous one, I think, was called Supremacy, very similar, but not that difficult. These 3 plus 2 victory points if you control 2 even and 2 odd objectives. So as you can see, up to now everything is about controlling objectives. Number 51, roll d6 when this tactical objective is generated. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if there are not enemies within 3 inches of the objective marker, whose number corresponds to the result. If they are not enemy within 9 inches of the objective, score these 3 victory points. Very curious, you don't score by controlling, you score by not having enemies around the objective. 52. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if at least one enemy unit that was controlling an objective marker at the start of your turn was completely destroyed. If in addition, one of your units controlling the objective marker at the end of your turn, if in addition one of your units is controlling that objective at the end of your turn, score these 3 victory points. So it's like killing a unit, but killing a unit that is controlling an objective, and you will gain 52 points. This is combining with a lot of abilities that we have today to kill units that are controlling objectives. Quite interesting. 53, this is quite a long one. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if at least one enemy unit was completely destroyed during either your shooting phase or your assault phase, so it's just a killing point. If at least one unit was completely destroyed during the shooting phase and your assault phase, so you have to kill in the shooting and one in your assault phase, score these 3 victory points. Instead, if at least 3 units were completely destroyed in both your shooting phase and your assault phase, score these 3 plus 3 victory points. So here is these 3 plus 3 victory points. If you score that one, you are completely obliterating your enemy. But these are 2 about killing and controlling and killing. Next one, score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if at least one enemy model that had 3 or more wounds or hull points remaining at the start of the assault phase was removed as casualty or destroyed during that phase. If the unit had 5 wounds or hull points remaining at the start of the assault phase, you score these 3 victory points. So you have to kill a vehicle or a character that have 3 wounds, or destroy is that all 5 hull points, but he have to have these hull points at the beginning of the phase, and you have to kill these during your assault phase. So it's a killing quite specific, but it can be quite interesting, especially if you want to kill vehicles. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if at least one model was removed as casualty from at least 3 different enemy units during your turn. If at least one model was removed as casualty from 6, you will score these 3 victory points. So you have to spread your shooting or your attacks over different units. Then you will score if you're killing from different units. Quite curious. Also this one. Score 1 victory, 56. Score 1 victory point at the end of your turn if there are no enemy units within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield. If there are not enemy units within 12 inches of the center of the battlefield, score these 3 victory points instead. So it's board control, this one. You can see there is some killing, but there is a lot of board control. And then the last ones are very similar, the last 6. So you score 1 victory point if you kill one enemy troop, and if at least one enemy troop was completely destroyed during the assault phase, you score 2 points. Okay, you get points for scoring troops. The same, but for killing elites. So if you kill it in shooting, 1 point. If you kill in the assault, 2 points. The same for fast attack. 1 point if you kill in the shooting, 2 points if you kill in close combat. Then we have the same for heavy support. 1 point if you kill it in the shooting, and 2 points if you kill it in the close combat phase. And then we have the next one, is that you score 2 victory points if you kill at least 1 HQ unit, and it can be in the seek phase or shooting phase. And if at least 1 enemy HQ unit was completely destroyed during the assault phase, you score these 3 plus 2 victory points instead. So this is quite powerful if you manage to kill an HQ. So you have to be, the enemy have to be careful with the HQs. The last one, score 3 victory points at the end of your turn if at least an enemy Lord of War unit was completely destroyed either in the seek phase or in the shooting phase. If at least 1 enemy Lord was completely destroyed during the assault phase, you will score these 3 plus 3 victory points. So these are what we have in that deck. We have a lot of killing, especially the last 6, but there is a lot of board control, I think. And also what I like from this deck is that you are not dependent if they are fortresses, if they are flying. Of course, these ones are the more dependent ones from the enemy. The enemy have to have elite, or have to have a Lord of War, or have to have HQ. But I think this is less restrictive than asking for flayers or asking for fortress, because normally the one about fortress, nobody have it, or it's a very difficult one. Even the ones with flayers sometimes are quite tricky one. So I find this more universal. I find that these cards required more board control, especially not to give points to your enemy, and also to you to be able to catch these points, because there is a lot about controlling objective, and it's not, in most of the cases, not enough in controlling at the beginning of your turn. Sometimes you will need to keep it for 2 turns, and sometimes you will need to avoid that the enemy is around the objective. So you need to balance your destroying power with your objective control and board control. I find them quite interesting. I would like to try them maybe in my next battle. So yeah, let me know what do you think. These are the Supremacy tactical objectives. I hope you like this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you don't subscribe it. And if you want to support this channel and you want to keep seeing more reviews and more tutorials, you can support me also in Patreon. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.